What's going on, people? Welcome back to the channel. No need for any introductions. You know who I am. KG is here. But you know what? No. See, this is the tough thing when you're doing this kind of thing and you have to come out after what you've witnessed in the game that you've just seen. It's so tough because I'm not happy today, people. This isn't going to be a very happy one. So how can you be happy after what you've seen today? As it says in the title, and it takes a lot for me to put something like that in the title, that was the worst performance we've seen under Marcelo Bielsa so far. And I tell you, listen, we've been beaten heavily before. We've been beaten by much better teams than us before. But that was a game today where both teams had key people out, but we should have done a lot more than what we did today. It was terrible. It was absolutely terrible today. Where do you even start unpacking what we've just seen today? Where do we even start? Yeah, there's so many things that went wrong today, and it's going to be tough to get them all out in just. It's tough to get them out all in one sequence. So you know what? Let's go with the team beforehand, right? I'm just looking at the lineup, and I saw the lineup before. I thought, wow, like when we don't have Rafinha and Calvin Phillips in the team, it looks kind of mad. It does look kind of iffy. And then we don't have Junior Firpo playing either, just for that left side balance. None of those guys were there today. And it showed. First half, man, we were missing Rafinha desperately. We could not get that ball to stick on any of our players' feet from the midfield onwards. It was terrible. Like everything that we was trying to do going forward, the ball just came back. We'd be running into spaces. Southampton would just pick it off us. We couldn't get around anybody. We couldn't get through anybody in the first half. It was abysmal. The second half wasn't much better, but that first half was horrendous. No shots all game. Let's just get that out of the way. No shots on target all game. I think our first shot came when Tyler Roberts managed to swivel his way out of something and put it over the Southampton ground. It was just dire. It was just dire today. And again, some of the choices from some of the players today were beyond questionable. Beyond questionable. But this isn't about digging out certain individuals because everybody today was off it. Absolutely everyone today was awful. There's like no one that comes out today with any credit. Maybe Melier, because once again, he had to keep us in the game. And you just think if Southampton had better finishers at the club, if they had actual gunmen up top, we could have lost that game 4, 5, 6, and not one of us could have complained about that either. We were so lucky to go in at 0-0 against Southampton. Against Southampton, we were lucky to get in 0-0. And when you look at the league table and you see Watford above us, who are absolutely dire, it kind of tells you where we are right now. Really tells you where we are right now. Here's me going into this game thinking that we could come out with a win. I didn't realize that Phillips wasn't going to make it because usually when Bielsa says Phillips is a doubt, Phillips usually pulls through. And I think his kit was all lined up and he must have failed a late fitness test. I don't know. But Southampton don't have the weapons to trouble us like they did today. This game was very much like the Liverpool game that we had at Ellen Road, but you would expect that from Liverpool when they've got Mane, Salah, and all these other guys in the team. Southampton don't have those players. Let's just get that out of the way right now. So we should not be getting dominated the way that we did today. And it is worrying. That is worrying from what I saw today. I really cannot believe what I've witnessed today. And in recent memory, I cannot think of a worse performance under Bielsa when it hasn't been a top draw team. Forget the championship days. I'm talking about Premier League. We've been beaten by Palace 4-1. It still wasn't as bad as what we've seen today. Their goal today, and it's not just on Cooper, and I want to get that clear because he didn't help. He really didn't help. Llorente's running back at Redmond, and Liam Cooper's left Baroya, whatever the guy's name is. Sorry about that if I don't know his name, but he's left him free on the penalty spot. Only we do that. Only Leeds United do that. I rarely see any other team leave players just with a free shot on the penalty spot. But Llorente is having to shout over to Cooper, stay over there because there's somebody on the spot. Their strikers on the spot, and by then it's too late. Everyone's just sliding. It's all a mess. And I tell you something, and because people think that I'm always a bit harsh on Cooper and everything, but I'm going to bring up something that I don't even know which stat account this is, but they tweeted at halftime a great defensive display from Llorente so far this afternoon. And with all these stats that you always see people roll out when they want to fit an agenda. And this is Llorente. This is my guy at centre back. So just bear that in mind. And they're saying that he had a colossal first half. He didn't. Llorente was quite poor with his distribution. A few of the tackles he was going in wayward. So that's what I'm talking about. These people that watch the game through numbers, I swear, I hate when they tell you something about a player. Yet again, Pascal Struijk being made to play that defensive midfield role doesn't work. How many times do we have to see this before we start? One thing I don't want to hear from Bielsa today, and I'm not really going at him. I know it sounds like it, but I don't want to hear this is on him today. I don't want to hear him take all the blame, and then we see this happen again. I don't want to see it because we've seen this before. Struijk does not work in that defensive midfield role. James and Harrison today, they were swapping flanks all game long and literally doing nothing with the ball. And it shows you the over-reliance we do have on Calvin Phillips and Rafinha. Where do we go from here? Bamford is missed up top. Rodrigo, yet again, he didn't get the service. That's fair enough, but he wasn't really doing anything else in the game either. And this is another game that this guy has gone without a goal. And it's against Southampton. That has to be the fact that you guys are listening to as well. This is Southampton. No Ward-Prowse. Okay? No Che Adams. This is Southampton, who have literally mustered less than 20 points in the whole of 2021. But yet here come Leeds to give you a little gift. It's poor. It's poor. Oh man, I'm just so annoyed with today's performance. I cannot put into words in a real calm way just how awful today was. And for me, there is a couple of players that have reached their limit, and I take that on board. There's a couple of players that are not Premier League level, and we knew that anyway. You always know when you're up in the first year that people are buoyant. They've got that new, that adrenaline rush to play in the Premier League because they've never played in it before. But eventually the quality does show, and it just shows that a couple of these players are not up to it. But there's nothing we can do about it now, so there's no point talking about that. It's about utilizing what we got. The substitutions today confused the life out of me. There we go again. I got to keep this PG, people. I got to keep it PG. But the substitutions, yet again, confuse me. We take Rodrigo off and bring on Adam Forshaw, blue heart, yellow heart. We see Forshaw make a signing. And again, this isn't on Forshaw because it's not his fault. But that tweet keeps biting him in the butt because of Radrizzani. Radrizzani has put untold pressure on Forshaw's shoulders to come in and make a difference. And he made no difference today. Zero. Didn't even know he was there. It was like he was in the center circle just running about, getting his reps in. That's basically what he was doing today. Joe Gelhardt comes on. We get to see him, but he comes on in the worst circumstances possible. It would have taken him to do something individual. You had to do an ISO ball in order to get anything out of the game. We got absolutely pulverized today. Just like we did against Watford. We won that 1-0 and we battered Watford. It was a 1-0 battering. We got a 1-0 hammering today. And let's not sugarcoat it. Southampton were really good. Let's give them their due. Southampton were good. Salisu was excellent in defense. Romeo, but in all fairness, we made it so easy for these guys too. No shots on target tells you everything you need to know. In fact, the indecisiveness going up to their first goal when they beat us on the counter, is the whole reason why we got into that mess, because one pass too many, one pass, one pass. It was like watching Arsenal in like 2010, 11, 12, where they always wanted to score that perfect goal instead of just whacking it. You know what I mean? They just, instead of just hitting it and trying an effort on goal, they just keep on trying to pass it into the net. We needed someone just to smack that ball at that time, but it was just one pass too many. How many? The thing is, you go through all the bad performances. Click wasn't on it today, and that's been a theme for a while now. We need, listen, people. I'm gonna go into the comments here because I need to see what people are saying. You know, I've spoken for 10 minutes straight there, but listen, people. One of these. Shout out Carter, one Leeds fan channel. Where was the effort, desire, fight, minging? Listen, and that's another thing. Shout out to everybody that went down to Southampton as well, the away fans that went and had to witness that. Because I've been there when we've had to witness terrible performances, but luckily they haven't been so far away. You know, I was at the 6-0 when we lost to Sheffield Wednesday away. That was absolutely horrific. But to go all the way down to Southampton and witness what you saw today, salute to you guys that went there and made the effort. But you know, Connor's right here. Effort, desire, fight. There was nothing, man. There was literally zero there today for Leeds United. Oh man, it's. Yeah, this was something else I noticed. Well, Gary Keith brings this up. Every pass seemed to go astray, and then we tried to bulldoze through them with Dan James. And I know Dan James will probably get a bit of stick today as well, but at least the guy was trying. But it was every time he did get the ball, he was trying to get through 2-3 people, and he just wasn't up to it today. Doesn't matter if he was on the left, right, and we was out of ideas today. They're gonna have to go back to the drawing board this week and do something about it, because it just wasn't good enough. And this is something else. To me, Rafinha flew back to watch this. Why didn't we just leave Rafinha at his yard? Why didn't we just leave him at home? If we weren't going to play him, why did we bring him all the way down to Southampton to watch that? I don't get it. I don't understand that. The guy's had a long haul flight from Brazil. He's not going to be on the bench. He's not starting, but we're bringing him to watch the game. I don't understand that. I don't get that. If you're going to bring him in and he's going to sit there somewhere, let him sit on the bench. So when you see what happened today happen, you can bring him on instead of Adam Forshaw. Instead of Adam Forshaw, bro. I got to calma. I got to. Oh, the doctor in the house. Sorry, I just missed it. Doctor, he's always on me. He's on me, and I got nothing for him today. But doctor's telling me, told you Harrison was a dud, or out. Listen, Harrison I noticed in the first 10, 15 minutes, Harrison was woeful. It wasn't even him trying to dribble. It was just him trying to control the ball and pass the ball. He couldn't do it. On the right-hand side, I don't like Harrison on the right. I want to make that clear as well. I don't think Harrison's very effective from the right-hand side. I think he should be on the left always, because he's not one of those that cuts in and can make a cutting pass like a Rafinha, or shoot from the right-hand side like a Rafinha. He's more of a I'll run past you, cross it, cut it across the box kind of player. So for me, him on the right just doesn't really work. But listen, doctor, I cannot defend it today. You're on the money today. You're right. And shout out for you and to Connor as well for the super chats and supporting me in the channel, man. So thank you guys. But yeah, listen, Byron, paper thin squad. But you know, when you tell people that we need players and they're telling you back the players, support the lads. It's not that we're not backing the players, but we're not blind. We can see what's going on, and I definitely can see what's going on. We are too light. Our bench today. Listen, people, come on now. The bench today: Creswell, the new Norwegian guy, Haid, if that's how you say it. Drama, Forshaw, McKinstry, Somerville, Gelhart, Greenwood. You'd be a bit worried if that was your bench in the Championship, let alone the Premier League. And I think people need to remember this is where we are. Premier League, guys. Premier League, and we're performing like that. We're 17th and we deserve to be 17th. I've seen, you know what's really funny, man. I listen out for it, man, because we had that 2-week break. We had a nice win before the break, and all of a sudden we haven't been that bad this season. When we've been on here all season long, and there's been more complaints than there has been praises all season long. You don't have more praise than concerns if you're 17th. That don't work. That just don't make no sense for me. We're not Norwich City. We're Leeds United. Shout out to Mark Jones. I've missed you. If you didn't put the message in there, just put it in normally. You don't have to send another super chat. But thank you so much for the super chat, Mark. Yeah, he did. Listen, if he was a bit more clinical, it would have been a worse scoreline. Ed, and listen, Ed, you cannot talk. Ed is the Man United fan. You cannot talk. I've seen your scoreline too, bro. So don't even come here, okay? Tom is saying too many Championship players in our team. Bielsa ball now taking its toll on Dallas Cooper Click, 30, 31 years old. Listen, I've said this before. It's not always about the age, but sometimes you just need to break things up or change it. And that's what I was hoping for in the summer. That's why I thought we could possibly flirt with the European places. But goddamn, we need to worry about flirting with 12th. Never mind 7th, 8th. But you have to replace these guys. But there's a big thing in the Leeds thing. And you can tell by the way Radrizzani talks about the team spirit and everything. And team spirit only gets you so far. Sheffield United had team spirit. But if you don't have the quality to match, it don't matter. But listen, let's see if we learn. Let's see if we learn from that. Derek saying Tyler Roberts, Coop, Dallas, Rudders, all very poor. Yeah. I was kind of hoping that Dallas would get to sit out today. But then you see that we don't even have Firpo for whatever reason. I don't know the reason why. I would have hoped that Shackleton would have started, and he did. Shackleton again, you know what? You cannot. He was probably the best of the bad bunch. In all fairness, he was probably the best of a bad bunch. No, Ed, we do not want Fred. Thank you very much. Yeah, Bandy makes a good point. We've lost the fun in our game. Last season we played with so much fun. It was the new league bounce, wasn't it? It was the new league factor. There was players playing way over their stations last season, and we're kind of seeing it with a couple this season, which is why I was hoping to get 4 players in that first 11. Because you could use some of the players that we've got starting now as bench players, and that would be absolutely fine. Trust me, it would be fine. But to keep using them as first 11 players, we're getting the results that we deserve right now. So, yeah, Gary saying, I didn't see much team spirit today, just a lot of frustration. Shackleton did okay. That's what I'm saying. Shackleton was the best of a bad bunch today. Mr. P, shout out to you with a super chat. Slow build up means we can't break through teams. I don't think it's that. I think you can build up slowly and break through teams, but you've got to have the quality to do it. And I'm sorry, but when you're seeing Rodrigo come off for Forshaw, then Tyler Roberts moves up front, and then a bit later he gets moved back when Click goes off and Gelhart comes on. It was all a mess. It was all a mess today. That's probably the best way I can sum up today. It was a mess. Midfield is non-existent too. Again, without getting that central midfielder and Forshaw not being ready to start, the midfield is just non-existent. People are just blowing through our midfield like they're not there. When Calvin's there, at least he's doing the job of 2-3 people. That's why I always say to people, when you're giving Calvin a bit of stick for not being his optimal best, just remember he's doing the job of 2 or 3 people in that midfield. And it shows today because no one was doing any jobs in midfield. They were going for our midfield like they weren't there. They went from defense to attack so quickly today. It was unreal. It was unreal. Here's Umair. Liverpool fan, free Rafinha. Yeah, McAllister, Bishop. You see, I'm always, as I said at the start, I'm always a bit cautious when I put in titles like that because I don't want to be over dramatic. But I really cannot think of a worse performance. We've had heavier defeats, but when you're going up against a team like Southampton and get dominated the way that we did, that was the worst performance ever. Definitely. Yeah. Well, listen, Ed. Ed is right. This is a Man United fan telling us you've got too many players that do a job. You need specialists. And listen, if you know there's one thing I hate in football, first of all, it's that free hit phrase. Do a job is another because that basically means you're not getting in players that are of good quality. Just like when you say that someone's a great leader, that means everything about their game is dire. Because if they're just a great leader, that shouldn't need to be said. Yaya Toure is a great leader, but you never used to hear him being called a great leader because he'd do his talking on the pitch. Listen. Yeah, listen, McAllister follows up. KG, we've played better and lost by miles more. Yeah, exactly. We've played. Yeah, listen, it was bad. Back of the net. I've lost it now with Rodrigo. Been backing him for months now, but no more. I said yesterday in a very, very brief preview I did that I needed to see Rodrigo on the score sheet today. No excuses today. He needed to be on because he has not scored all season long. And again, nothing. Zip. And he wants to be the striker over Bamford? Nah, not for me. Not for me. Yeah. Let me see. Yeah. T85. I always shorten that. Forgive me. Do a job is such a worn up phrase. It is. It's one of those like British coach, like run up and down, but with no purpose phrases. It's like trust the process. It's loser talk. Trust the process. I watch American sports. The only American teams that say trust the process are loser teams. Do a job is another one. He's not of good quality, but he plays right back. Well, he'll play right back then. Terrible, terrible phrases, man. PSF. Take a look at our form this season. How can people say they have faith in the players? Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. Jamie Lowe brings up the point about the Watford game that they had a goal ruled out that should have stood as well, so possibly could have come out with a draw. Yep, absolutely. Robert Hall is saying that it only goes up from here. Literally cannot get a worse than that performance-wise. I would hope not. Because if it does get worse than that performance-wise against a better team, we're going to be on the end of one serious hiding. And that's facts. Have I missed something? Oh, shout out to Mark Jones, super chat. Too many round pegs in square holes. It's not working. Yeah. Dallas back at left back yet again. Shackleton, even in his video, he says that he's a central midfielder and remembers he plays mostly right back. So, yeah, Jamie Lowe, this is it for me. Worry is we can't even beat the teams around us. That's it. When you're going to Burnley, Southampton, Newcastle, this isn't 5 years time Newcastle. This is Newcastle now. When you go in there and we're not getting wins, it's concerning. How can you not be concerned when you're not beating the teams that you're supposed to beat? We're below Watford in the table, and Watford are awful. So what does that say about us at this moment in time? Reality. It's a reality check for us, people. I'm avoiding all the ones with this R word though. So, oh man, I'm avoiding the ones with R's. I don't want to answer that. I just that's it as well. Jamie Lowe brings up something that I've noticed as well. We're being outrun mostly by a lot of teams, which is something that was never said apart from that Chelsea game last season where Lampard put it all on the line. We're just not looking the same. We're not looking as fluid. The moves are breaking down very easily, and it's not always about teams working you out. It's about you executing your plan better. And right now, these players they're not doing it. They're really just not doing it. Mr. P, Robert standing and watching as James breaks through. James misses, but he could have offered an option similar to Southampton's goal. Yeah, That's what I'm saying. Without that, Bamford isn't the most natural number 9 in the world, but he's a lot better than Rodrigo and Roberts in the forward position. Maybe he's following through on that follow up from Dan James's effort. Honestly, I just don't know where to go. Harmony in the house. BBC One just now. Leeds were absent today and don't have a good enough squad. The thing is, you say these kind of things to people. The let's all get along tribe and kumbaya tribe, and they act like you're not a supporter. It's absolutely mad that anyone could feel good after today. I genuinely believe that if anyone is saying that they're fine with today's performance, they've got some kind of agenda. Maybe they want to work for the club or something, because you cannot be happy with what you've seen today if you're a Leeds United fan. That's my opinion. I'm not saying that you can't, but I just don't see how you can be. It's one of those where I'm actually trying to find some positives today, and I can't find one. I can't find any. There's nothing for me to go through today and say this was a redeeming thing. There's nothing. I can't think of one thing. 8563 Robbie, I'm concerned this will have a psychological effect on the players. Of course it will. Yeah, of course it will. They're not beating teams that are around them. And this month, especially in October, was the month where you'd think this is the best chance of any to go through a month undefeated. And we've come out with a 0 at Southampton. Yeah. Man. Shout out to everyone in the chat though, man. Just going through some of Darren. I've already looked at the December fixtures. It's mad. It is mad. So, oh man. Yeah, Mr. P, recovery, relax, remote, ridiculous. What R word? Yeah, we're not going to talk about that. I don't think so. Oh. Yeah, Mark is saying, Cage, saying how you feel makes you more Leeds fan than Lion. It's not about who's a bigger fan or not. All that. I've been to 500 games and I've been supporting since the club was in birth. But I just cannot see how anyone would be happy with today. Robert Hall, he's got some positives. Bamford, Rafinha, and Phillips will be back soon. I don't know the time frame on Bamford, in all fairness. I've not really heard anything about it. How long does anyone know how long he's going to be out for? I mean, even Firpo, what happened to Junior Firpo today? I have no idea. Phillips, you'd imagine, will be back in the next game because it was kind of touch and go for this one. So you'd be hoping that he's back. But yeah, listen, Liam G is going to bring up here. I was hoping the Rodrigo that destroyed Burnley to emerge this season. Sadly, it's not happening. This is it now. He's got the Burnley game. That's it. The other good game that he had, he jumped over the ball so Rafinha could score a goal. It tells you a lot, man. Is Rodrigo a flop? What do you guys think? Because to me, that 29 million isn't looking very smart, I gotta say. PSF, KG the right has been on the wall all season. The club are in denial. Listen, I must be in denial too, PSF, and I'm probably guilty of it because I predicted a 3-1 win today. So maybe I'm in denial too. But today really did open my eyes. In addition, this isn't reactionary. In addition to the Newcastle and Burnley performances this season so far, we haven't got a win out of one of these 3 games. No. Harmony, we are stagnant, been riding high on the cloud. We're now back to earth with a bump. Need to freshen things up quickly. Yeah. It's like when you see Tyler Roberts, and this isn't on Tyler Roberts. We all know he's no good. Let's just get it right. We know he's not good enough for the Premier League. But when you're seeing him starting, instead of a Gelhardt, who knows what he could have done from the start? Who knows? We don't know. But Roberts did exactly what he does in many other games, which is not a lot. But he's not the only one. He's not the only one getting that today. But it's about, Harmony's right, it's about freshening it up. It's about giving us just a couple more faces in there. Shackleton has done well at right back in place of Ayling so far, and it's given us a new impetus down there. Obviously, he thrives much better with Rafinha, who doesn't. But it is now about trying to see what else we can do, because seeing Rodrigo Roberts start, for me, it doesn't do nothing for me. It does nothing for me. I hope they do well, but come on, we know the script now. We know the script. So yeah, Tom, yeah, I saw Hassan, who, oh yeah, he looked like he was about to burst into tears again. Yeah. But his team did what they needed to do today. Byron Rodrigo so poor. I want to get the people's opinions on Rodrigo. Do you think that there's anything there for him as a striker at the club, or is it still too early to judge him? What are you guys saying? Beefy. Alison, as Alison Change would sing, down in a hole. Right. Yeah, definitely feeling some grunge moods right now. Absolutely, yeah. Mm. Maybe we'll be a bit more like Pearl Jam and we're still alive, but we need to get some results. Yeah, fair? I don't know. Chris Baldwin, Christopher K says no to the Rodrigo thing. That's fair enough. But Chris Baldwin, without Phillips, Bamford, Rafinha, we are garbage relegation fighter. Oh no, I said the R word. Damn it! What I'm taking is the first points about our key players being out. Just shows the lack of depth that we've got. And everyone that was hammering myself and other people, Joe as well. Joe was getting hammered because he was saying that we need a central midfielder like Conor Gallagher and all that. He's getting hammered. And then lo and behold, Colin Gallagher plays well. Everyone's going back to Joe saying, hey, man, you were right. Of course we're right. We're not blind. The club aren't blind. They were trying to get Lewis O'Brien in as well. But they didn't pay the fee that Huddersfield wanted, and rightly so, because he's not worth that much money. But even the club knew. So that Radrizzani tweet of Adam Forshaw, hey, listen. Okay, well, listen, as I say, this is an echo chamber. So Matt Sweeby says, Rodrigo has had a few good games this season, but was awful today. Still needs more time in his opinion. Okay. Michael Luke is saying quality isn't there. Waste of money, Rodrigo. We'll get it back when we saw Rafinha summer. I don't want to even think about that. I already did a Rafinha video in regards to his future because I don't want to harp on that. But that's the video before. I only did it yesterday. So if you didn't see that one, catch that one after this one. Gary Keefe is saying in regards to the game today, Southampton just seemed to get every single second ball and their press was so much better than us. They beat our press all day long. How did that happen when that is our bread and butter? That's it. Our identity isn't even there now. People are outdoing what we do to them. Newcastle did it as well. Again, we got a draw in that game, but we were very, very lucky to get a draw in that game because Newcastle outdid us. How many times have we seen it? Just going back to the first half today, worst first half that I've seen for Leeds United in forever. It almost felt like the Warnock days with the way that we were playing. Byron is saying about the Huddersfield kid, but he wasn't 8 million, Byron. Their chairman even came out and said they rejected a fee up to 13 million. So it shows that they were looking for something that is way over what that guy is actually worth. So I'm glad that the club walked away from that, in all fairness. Okay, Talmi is saying that he likes Rodrigo, but we're not getting value for 27 million. No, we're definitely not. Gary Keefe saying, I feel Rodrigo has had so many chances, to be honest, but maybe he's best as an impact sub. Yeah, but yeah, that's it. Maybe even start Gelhardt up front and then bring Rodrigo on the sub. But again, it leaves in players that just aren't good enough for the first 11. And we're going to have this problem until January. But I do hope that Radrizzani and the senior management are watching what's going on and really reassess what we're doing in January. Because if they're content with what's going on, with all the plans that they have for the club, or where they hope the club will be in a couple of years, I I just don't see it. I just can't see it with the first 11 that we keep on putting out. Yeah, Lewis echoes something that I was saying when I saw it. Lewis saying Rafinha must be thinking, "What am I doing?" 36 hours ago, I was playing with Neymar. That's exactly what I said. I was like, I was looking at him watching the game, thinking, I've just balled out with Neymar, who's giving me lovely one-touch passes for me to finish off, and then I'm watching these guys can't even trap a pass and pass it 5 yards to their left or right. Like it's got to be said. We see how Rafa gets on the pitch when people mess up all his good work and they put it over the bar or wide of the post, whatever it be. But he was watching that from the sidelines today, and you just wonder exactly what was he thinking after what he's just experienced with the Brazilian team. It just makes you wonder. Oh man, yeah. People smash the likes, as you know, guys know. You know, the algorithm's always trying to hold me down. But yeah, smash a like, and if you dislike what I'm saying, dislike the video too. It's all good, man. Shout out disabled team. That was awful, KG. Yeah. Shout out to you guys. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Harmony saying it doesn't matter if it's Bamford, Rodrigo, or Gelhardt. Without service, they can't score. None of the midfielder providing. Yeah, it's true. It's true. But the difference, what I'll say is the difference between when Bamford is struggling up front by himself, you'll see Bamford come back and try and do something to help out. I didn't see Rodrigo do anything. I didn't see him do anything today to try and help out. So yeah, I just don't know. No, PSF makes a point. Bielsa runs the club, and it seems to be against the law to question him. You know what I say on here? You can always question him. We'll always be grateful for Bielsa. Statue should be outside of the ground, absolutely. But listen, he got it wrong again today. He got it wrong today with the starting lineup. He got it wrong with the subs too. For me, the substitution just made zero sense to me. That's something that I just can't get over in terms of taking off a striker when we need a goal and bringing on Adam Forshaw. I know we was getting overrun in midfield, but I think you could have probably taken off someone else before Rodrigo. Why take out? I say threat, but why take out our threat up front and just make us a bit weak when we're chasing a goal? Scott Lightning, and I mentioned this yesterday, but Scott Lightning says Bate would control our midfield along with Phillips. Bielsa needs to get a grip. I don't know if Lewis Bate is actually injured because he wasn't even on the bench today, which was surprising. But I think he might be. Is he hurt? That can be the only reason why. Because for me, Lewis Bate is a much better option than Adam Forshaw to even start the game. I'd even put him out to start. We need something. We need something different, people. We need something different. We need to freshen this up because it's looking very stale. It's looking very stale. Mr. P almost gone off the screen. Bielsa's subs recently tend to happen at set times as opposed to when they are required. I said this at 30 minutes. I said I want to see Bielsa do an old school Bielsa sub. You know, when he sees it's not going right and he just hauls somebody off and then explains, "I'm sorry. I saw that I needed to change it. It's nothing against you." I wanted to see him do that today because I think we needed that at like 30 minutes, probably before, but let's give him 30 minutes. I wanted to see that Bielsa. Is Bielsa too attached to some of these players now compared to when he first came in and he was hauling off Calvin after 30 minutes? I think it was against Swansea. Is he maybe too attached to a few of these players? I don't know. I don't know. But I did want to see something in the first half, just change it up. And he didn't do it. But Southampton made a change before we did, and Southampton were on top. That's again another questionable thing with the substitutions. How are Southampton making a change before us? Yeah, Nigel D again. Nigel D can't afford to cave in when our best players are missing. Not good enough. They can't. These players there that would take in the place of Phillips and Rafinha and all these guys, Bamford, they need to show that they're good enough to play because there's question marks over quite a few of them. Yeah, so they needed to come in and show. Listen, you don't need to worry about Rafinha being missing. You don't need to worry about Calvin being missing. You don't even need to worry about Bamford being injured for this long. I've got you. But they don't got us. They don't got us. They don't got us at all. It's actually mad. It's actually mad. They don't got us at all. And the thing is, the more the games tick on, the more frustrated that people are going to get with these players. And no one hates them. No one hates any of the players that we've got. But you've just got to be realistic where some of them are ability-wise for the Premier League. Again, emphasize it's Premier League, not Championship. We're in a whole new league, a better league. And some of them just haven't got the goods. Yeah. Yeah, Ryan Newby, just getting through some more of your comments. Ryan saying, worrying Southampton were not all that today. We did nothing, never worked the keeper, couldn't make a simple pass. We needed to act in the January window, but January is a couple of months away, Ryan. I fully agree with you, but listen, we need something now from the players that we've currently got. Yeah, Lewis, Bielsa can only do so much with our squad. That's true, but if you wanna say that, then maybe we could probably get a couple more players in than he's usually more comfortable with, because I know he likes to work with a small squad. But maybe even he sees. We don't know. We don't know, but maybe even he sees that we need a couple more players just to supplement the squad, because we've always got players missing. It's not even like we always have a settled 11. We rarely ever have a settled 11. We always have players missing. Every week, we rarely ever put out our first strongest 11 straight away. We don't. So we always have players missing. And you always think that he'll probably supplement with the under 23s, but he seems to be kind of reluctant to bring them in. I know he likes to wait and see when they're ready, but I just don't think we've got that kind of time. Yeah, and that's a good point. Mr. P saying he can accept a smaller squad, but we just need them to be Premier League standard. Yeah, that's it. If you're going to have a small squad, they have to be better than what we currently have. But listen, there's no point. There's no point going on about the January window yet, because we're only halfway through October. It's very frustrating. I'm frustrated, people. I can see people in the chat today are frustrated. Listen, if you're watching the replay, leave your comments in the comments box and let me know. Is this an overreaction, or do you think that we have nothing to worry about, considering we haven't taken any wins from Southampton, Newcastle, or Burnley this season? Shout out to the doctor, another super chat. Thank you so much for the support, guy. Caliber is everything in a small squad. Automan, yeah, it is. It's a lot easier said than done. I know it's not Football Manager or FIFA where you can just get, 20 of the best players and just rotate them when you can. But you just have to be better than what we have right now. It's looking very. It's poor. It's poor. Basically, it's poor. That's the word I can only sum up. And we're 17th, so no one can say I'm exaggerating. It's been poor overall. There was a good thing here. Black Hammer Entertainment. Once again, I hope that's not what I think it is. But that Salah goal, yeah, listen, that Salah goal earlier was tremendous, amazing bit of work from Mo Salah. I watched that goal about 10 times on my phone. So, yeah, shout out to Mo Salah, man. One of the best in the world right now. Mr. P, we have a lot to worry about simply because none of our performances have filled me with confidence, even the win against a poor Watford. Exactly. If that Watford game was last season, we would have put them away 4-5-0. I reckon it would have been light work, but we made a meal of it, didn't we? So, Liam G, it's clear Tyler is Roberts is Bielsa's boy through thick and thin. I hate ragging on Tyler, but he's not a Premier League player. He needs loaning out. Liam, I've said this before, and again, this isn't to bang on Tyler, but I even think that loaning out thing's a bit late now. I think if you're going to loan him out after he signed a new contract, then it would have been this season. I think the fact that he's done this again, I think it's going to leave a bit of memory for a lot of people when he comes back. Because if he doesn't go out and loan and absolutely smash it, I don't think a lot of fans will be welcoming back. He's got his fan club, I see it. He's got his fans, but on the whole, from what I see, I don't think people will welcome him back. I think right now, if it's a chance of getting Tyler out of the club, it's probably going to have to be through a sale, unless he's able to go somewhere and show that he can be the man and do it. But for me, I just don't have that confidence in him. I haven't had confidence in a while, Liam. So I'm probably the wrong person to say that to about needing a loan. For me, it's about getting someone that's better. Simple as that for me. I want someone better than Tyler Roberts. I want somebody to come off the bench and give me like hope that they're going to change the game in a positive way, rather than just, oh, it's Tyler Roberts again. Okay. Yeah. Well, he started today and did nothing. So Beefy saying, oh, Beefy saying, give Coppis a miss this Thursday, fella. But to be fair, you always hold your own. Honestly, I don't know how I'm going to get out of this one, Beefy. I don't know how I'm gonna have to face the music on this one, Beefy. Beefy's talking about the Coppish show on the Coppish channel on YouTube. 9:30 usually start time on the Thursdays, where a few of us Premier League fans review the games and everything else like that. So if you're around on 9:30 on Thursdays, Liverpool fans, Man United fans, that should be interesting. Tottenham fan and a Chelsea fan. And we just talk about the week's results and preview the upcoming game. So if you're around on Thursdays at 9:30, catch us there. But honestly, Beefy, I've done well so far, deflecting it like a Frank Lampard highlight reel. But I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it this Thursday, man. I'm going to have to face the music on this one. So, yeah, Mr. P saying we're now on -8 goals, and that's it. And I've got Tottenham to beat Newcastle tomorrow. But if there's any chance that they don't, and Newcastle have got that new ownership bounce where these players are trying to prove that they belong at Newcastle, we'll slide into the bottom three tomorrow. So, yeah. And I think Tottenham may not have Son playing, because I think he's got COVID. So again, man, yikes. Yeah. Lack of confidence within the team. Yeah. PBDS, KG, no point building a 55,000 stadium if we're in the wrong league. Yeah, need improved players when our best are not available. Yeah. Mr. P, you know me, I'm with you on that. No place for sentiment when our Premier League status is at stake. Said it all along. That's why a lot of people don't like me, because I don't have any emotional attachment to these players that got us promoted. I'm very happy for them, very thankful for them. And I hope that in 10 years we can do a celebration and honor them. But we're talking about my club here. This is my club that I've waited 16 years to get back in the Premier League. And I don't want them to go something bad to happen just because we've been loyal to the people that got us up. Can't work like that, man. Football don't work like that. There comes a cycle. There's a cycle with every sports team. Even successful ones, you have to break it up and refresh it slowly. You can't just keep the same people just because. Don't work like that. So you know me, Mr. P, I'm with you. Jack Wilson, why bring on Forshaw when we needed a goal? Absolutely don't know, man. But after, hopefully Bielsa has explained it. Hopefully he's explained it, man. Oh, man, jeez. Bench players had an opportunity today but failed miserably. Yeah. I'm not going to say Gelhardt failed. This was not the right game for him to get involved as a striker. It was a very poor game for him to try and change it. Like I said, if he had changed it, it would have been something like individual brilliance that he would have had to do, because there was zero service coming through to the strikers today. But at least I saw Gelhardt about the pitch trying to break stuff up and get possession back off Southampton. I did not see that from Rodrigo. I just didn't see it. No, Ed, I'm not answering that question. Get out. Yeah. Yeah, disabled team. Listen, I'm with you, KG. I'd rather be honest and have a few viewers than rather say what people want to hear. Yeah, listen, if I played the game and said what everyone wants to hear, I'd have way more subscribers than I do right now. But that's not the way I want to run my channel. That's not the way that I operate as a person. So I'm not just going to be kissing butt in order just to get some subscribers. No chance. You get me as you get me. The fact is, I speak too much sense at times. That's the problem. I need to come out with something outlandish, like we're going to win the league or something, so I can get those shock subscribe followers. That's what I need to do. I need to stop talking with my mind, man. But yeah. Oh God, guys. Yeah. It doesn't seem like, I mean, this therapy session hasn't made me feel any better. It can't do. Sorry. It's because it's a run of games. This isn't like earlier in the season where it was 1, 2, 3 games and you can see brighter horizons. This is our 8th game now, and not a lot of the performances have been like this, but we've had more bad performances than positive ones this season. So yeah, it's tough. It's a tough one today. We just have to eat this one and accept that right now we're a poor team at this moment in time. We just have to accept it. Yeah, Bandy. I mean, listen, it happens in all sports. Bandy saying whenever Sir Alex would win the title, he would buy players straight away. He wouldn't overhaul the squad, but he'd buy one or two just to let the players know that your position isn't safe. And again, a few of these players believe that their positions are too safe, and actually their selections and how much they're getting to play kind of shows that their selections are safe. That's a very, very worrying thing at a football club, because nobody should be safe in your position, especially when you're not performing to the standard. So, yeah, yeah. Tom, talking about sentiment, agree. We all know too many fans are too sentimental towards players who got us promoted. Bielsa needs to be ruthless with the squad, way too comfortable. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, it was Bielsa's 150th game today for Leeds. And you can kind of see why why he doesn't really stick around them as long. Maybe that's his MO. Maybe that he feels more comfortable not staying around that so long, because I do feel like a couple of these players are, as somebody said earlier, Bielsa's boys. And yeah, it's mad. It's all mad. Listen, Caspadinho, when do you see the form turn around? I'm just gonna go. Let me just have a look at the fixtures. Well, we've got Wolves at home next. That's not going to be easy. Wolves are coming into form now. So yeah, near the start of the season, I would have said Wolves would have probably been a good chance for 3 points, but I'm not too sure right now. Then we got Norwich at the end of the month, and then Leicester at home, who are obviously Manchester United got the business today. Spurs away, Brighton. Gosh, I don't know. I'm not going to think about that too much now, because right now my mind's kind of clouded, and it's kind of like worst case scenario in quite a few of those games. But Black Hammer Entertainment, Stone Cold KG, that's from the Copper Show people. They want you to turn. They want you to turn into an Arsenal fan. They want you to be delusional. One thing I'll never be is delusional. Can't do it. I just refuse to do that kind of thing where you just ride in the wave and the get along gang. Can't do that. Jack, I'm sorry, man. I can't help you out of this today. Can't help you. Jack says he's depressed. Chris, I said that when he came on. I said that when he came on. Chris is saying, sorry, when Forshaw comes on a sub, you know we are in trouble. Because I checked in on Twitter, and you know that that meme you see of that mouse that goes through the door and then walks straight back out. Because I saw people saying we should have started Forshaw from the start. We need Forshaw on. I just had to exit that app and say, well, this isn't for me. I said I might not have to look at this, because if Forshaw's the answer, what's the question? I don't know. Harmony, don't look at November, December, KG. Might end up in a secure unit. Yeah, let's get through October first. Let's get through October. Yeah, Beefy. Yeah, might need to watch Saeed and have a breakdown to cheer myself up. Yeah, I can't wait. I'm gonna watch Saeed's stuff straight after I'm done here. Actually, Brentford Chelsea's on, but I'm gonna watch Saeed because that's got to be entertaining. Gary Keith, for sure, nearly gave a free goal to him. Yeah, don't know, don't know what he was doing. John B, I might end up being sectioned at this rate. Oh man, damn guys, we haven't been able to lift each other out of the funk today. We're usually good at this. We've done it early in the season. We've usually lifted each other up and just said we'll be all right, but we haven't been able to do it today. That's reality. That's a reality check that I think even myself has taken today. I've taken a bit of reality check of even more so of where a couple of these players are that are starting for us week in, week out. I've definitely had that reality check slap me in the face today. So, yeah. Mr. P's on it. He's just saying, I didn't come here to be lifted up, KG. I've come here to moan. Jeez. Just looking just to get that all out, Mr. P. It's bad. I know it's bad. I'm sorry. Ed saying, don't worry, KG. There's loads of pub teams worse than Leeds. You're safe this season. Yeah. Yeah, and we've beaten one out of 4 of them so far, Ed. We've beaten 1 out of 4 of them so far. So, yeah. Yeah. Greetings, Pavel. Pavel, shout out to you. Mr. P's kicking the cat late and he doesn't even have one. Listen. Graham Cliff, it's a good job. Good job my wife was at work. She would have been bollocking me constantly for shouting and swearing pub team performance this afternoon. Yeah, I've seen better from pub teams in all fairness. And I'm going to stick by it today as I wrap this video up. That was the worst performance under Bielsa. Forget all the heavy defeats that we've had. At least there was something in those games. There was nothing. There was 0 today. No positives today, people. No positives in today. And if you're a first-time viewer thinking that I'm just a constant moaner of the club, please go back and watch and show you that it's not been like this. There's been positives in even those games that I feel that we should have got 3 points in. But sorry, not today. Not today. No. Black Hammer, we've been here before. Leeds are too good to go down. We said that when we got relegated from the Prem. We said that when we got relegated from the Championship. We're not too good to go down. Other teams have got that all right, but we don't have that kind of comfort. But listen, I didn't want to talk about relegation, but you pulled me in just when I think I got away. They sucked me right in. But I don't think so at this point. I'm going to say that right now. At this point, on the 16th of October, I'm not thinking about that, the R word. But these guys are going to buck up their ideas. And that's something that I'm going to probably end the video on. They need to buck up their ideas because a lot of them are playing for their Premier League futures here at Leeds United anyway. Because if they don't buck them up, they're going to get replaced. I cannot see Radrizzani being this loyal to a team. If we come to January time and we're in the same kind of position, can't see him being this loyal to them. I just can't. So players need to wake up. That's one thing I was saying. If anyone knows of the band Suicide Silence, wake up, wake up. That song was going through my head as these guys were just sleepwalking through the game. They need to wake up now and give us more. They need to give the team more. Give those fans that traveled there more. They didn't. Those fans that went to Southampton today deserved a hell of a lot more than what they saw today. And we as Leeds fans in general, all around the world, deserve more than what we saw today. So it's up to them. It's up to them now. Ball's in their court. We're at home against Wolves next, people. Please smash a like on the video. If you're watching a replay, leave comments on what you thought today, and I will see you in the next video. Sorry, just to close off, I trust Bielsa enough to keep you up. Me too, man. But again, he's got to change a few of his ideas too. Straighten up and fly right. Yeah. And I'll end it with Jackie Wilson's comment there. Thanks, KG. Chin up. We'll stick together. We will. Thanks for all the support on the channel, people, as well. Again, as you know, with me, it's always appreciated. The time that you take out to watch these videos. So it never goes underappreciated by me. So thank you so much. And see you in the next video, people. Peace out.